This animated diagram visualizes a staggering mathematical reality, the exact odds of winning the Powerball. As we zoom out from a single glowing dot, it becomes lost in a sprawling grid of over 292 million surrounding dots, representing the 292,201,338 to 1 probability of hitting the jackpot. When you look at the sheer scale of those numbers, securing the grand prize drops effectively to 0. Statistically speaking, taking home the jackpot is a mathematical impossibility for any individual player buying a ticket. Yet hidden within those millions of losing tickets is a specific recurring anomaly. Across the globe, there is a documented subset of lottery players who claim to possess absolute certainty that they are going to win, weeks or even months before the drawing actually takes place. This certainty does not remain a vague feeling in the back of their minds. It translates directly to selecting the precise winning digits printed on physical paper. For these particular winners, capturing the jackpot ceases to be a random game of chance. Instead, the process functions as the final physical culmination of a psychological event that occurred long before. In 1999, a 21-year-old named Timothy Schultz was living in a cramped efficiency apartment. Depressed about his finances, he fell asleep one night on a cheap air mattress. But he didn't descend into a normal, hazy dream state. Instead, he experienced a vivid, out-of-body transition where his perspective lifted away from his physical form on the floor. In this detached state, Timothy lived through the exact moment of winning the lottery. He felt a sudden, massive spike of adrenaline and the heavy, undeniable physical euphoria of sudden wealth washing over his entire nervous system. The experience was so viscerally real that when he woke up, he suffered a severe sense of shock. He was completely disoriented by the realization that he was still broke, because his body had already fully processed the complex emotions of winning. This raises a difficult biological question. How does the human brain perfectly synthesize the complex, physical reality of a life-altering event months before the event actually takes place? Timothy's experience is not an isolated incident. Consider the case of Kelly Grace Gaddis, a woman from Washington State who also had an intensely lucid dream about buying a winning ticket. In her sleep, she observed highly specific data points. She noted that the clerk selling the ticket wore a name tag reading Eileen, and she clearly saw the specific branding for a regional game called Lucky for Life. Or look at another winner, going by the name Phoenix, who experienced a similarly granular bout of precognition before claiming her own prize. Phoenix dreamt of standing in a gas station she had never frequented. In her sleep, she memorized the exact geometric tile patterns on the floor, and she memorized the faces of the strangers in the store where she would eventually win $50,000. Statistical luck involves matching a random set of numbers, but matching the unique floor tiles, the face of a specific stranger, and the name on their tag introduces a level of detail that standard probability models rarely account for. These individuals appear to be intercepting highly specific precognitive data points from a future event and bringing that information back into the present. To understand how this information travels, we can look to Nancy Trivolato, a consciousness researcher. She studies what is known as the vibrational state, a physiological process where the body's energetic layers loosen and separate during deep sleep. Achieving this vibrational state naturally mutes the persistent noise of daily anxiety. With the static cleared, the human mind transforms into a highly sensitive receiver for subtle external signals. Remote viewing expert Sean McNamara suggests these signals originate at the very moment the ticket is scanned. Discovering you have millions of dollars triggers a massive, life-altering physiological shock to the entire human nervous system. This diagram illustrates McNamara's theory of nonlinear time. The emotional shockwave generated by winning is so powerful that it creates a massive spike in energy, which then radiates and travels steadily backward along the timeline. By lying on his air mattress in a quiet, out-of-body state, Timothy's mind was completely clear. He was tuned to the exact frequency required to intercept that backward-traveling emotional signal. Under this framework, Timothy's brain functioned as a recorder, capturing a memory of an intense emotional broadcast sent by his own future self. 3 months after that night on the air mattress, the calendar finally caught up to the origin point of the signal. Armed with absolute conviction, a certainty implanted directly into his nervous system by the simulation, Timothy purchased his Powerball ticket. The mechanical drawing took place, the numbered balls dropped into the chute, and his physical reality snapped into alignment with the data from his dream. When he realized he held the winning ticket, the adrenaline hit his bloodstream. It was the exact same heavy euphoria he had already felt 3 months prior, as the physical event and the memory finally collided. The intersection of these narratives presents the lottery as a unique boundary, a space where human consciousness and the mechanics of nonlinear time converge. These vivid, out-of-body intuitions act as a bridge, allowing us to perceive the echoes of our future selves.